The performance standards and measures are also need to be created in every kind of planning, because without without establishing the standards and measures, we cannot evaluate the success of our plans. So we need to create certain performance standards and measures, be it in terms of occupied room nights, be it in terms of revenue achieved, be it in terms of total number of clients, total number of sales calls, bookings, number of the pace, the cancellations, number of contracts signed. So it can be relevant to the hospitality industry depending on what is the focus of the sales and marketing. So it can be it can be a growth in direct bookings, it can be a growth in agent bookings, it can be a number of groups that the hotel is going to do, number of events in the banqueting. So you have to decide certain standards. So it can be divided into two parts: internal measures and external measures. So internal measures would be industry averages. What are the general occupancy in the competitors, what are the industry averages in the general parts, how many weddings they are doing, when they are doing, how much occupancy they are doing, what kind of RevPAR they are doing, to compare. And it can be also our past performance plus a certain increment on the previous performances. So that also can be a factor when we are comparing our prices. And the managerial expectations from the CEO and owners of the company. So those again can be the managerial expectations, where we are setting up our budgets, our expectations based on the ROI, based on the market conditions, based on the strategic plans that the ownership or management has. Usually there are guidelines coming from the top bosses, the general managers or CEOs of the company. What is the market penetration we expect, what are the average occupancy rates that we think we're gonna expect. So those can serve as a performance standard, and we need to measure, we need to make it clear and communicate these performance measure to every sales person in the organization, so that it can be monitored and they can be held accountable to these performance measures. Certain external measures can be in the customer satisfaction or the societal satisfaction. So customer satisfaction would normally be coming in terms of, let's say, the feedback from the agents, how well our peoples are doing, what is our response rates, what are the hotel standards in the guest satisfaction, their stay experience. Even though the sales are not directly related with the sales experience, but they are definitely involved with the event management. So a lot of hotel companies are doing event surveys. Post event they survey and they get the feedback from the customers, how well the event was executed, what was the service level, what was the sales level, how responsive our salespeople were, how effective we were in understanding their expectations and their problem solving. As we are keep on learning in the beginning of the course, beginning of this course, that the customer satisfaction and solving customer problems is the priority of marketing and sales in these times. So we have to ask the customers, are their problems solved, are their expectations done, so that we can make sure that our efforts are in the right direction. Societal satisfaction usually would be the media coverage or the number of awards that we are gaining, or other functions. Usually mostly would be coming in terms of awards and recognitions only. So those are the performance standards and measures. So we need to carefully select how we are going to measure our performance. So if we are targeting more on occupancy financial numbers, then we can base on occupancy average, or the revenue generated, RevPAR generated, or number of event revenue. If we are mostly focusing on customer satisfaction only, then more focus would be on the customer satisfaction. So it depends really on what are the objective of our planning. Performance standards but are taken into account from all the angles. Usually a good performance measurement is balanced. It will take care of industry, market, it will take care of the managerial expectations, customer expectations, and also our past performances. That the degree of in focus might change. So there are certain planning tools which are used in sales and marketing planning. So it can be two. One is dialectic planning and one is contingency planning. So dialectic planning examines the validity of assumptions in the forecast, and it requires to make a new assumption to evaluate the previous plan and are rigorously challenged. A second plan is usually prepared. Contingency planning is usually a backup plan and the one which is adopted, and it will be executed if the event occur beyond the control of a major plan. So these are the two type of plan that sales and marketing usually prepares. Since in the planning process there are a lot of assumptions about the market expectations, assumptions about the economic growth, assumptions about the pricing, assumptions about the competitors, assumptions about how much our ability and our how much market share or other things we can capture. So the plan is usual. Dialectic planning is usually challenging the assumptions on a average on a yearly basis, so that our previous plans when we are evaluating monthly or quarterly, we are challenging the assumptions and we are testing if those assumptions still hold valid. The second type of planning is called contingency planning. In case there is a new competitor, in case there is a natural disaster, in case there is a COVID type of crisis happening, what would be the contingency plan for us? What would be the backup plan? What would be our backup market source? What would be our alternative use of property that we can focus on? Because usually when we are doing the planning, we try and aim to be the best usage, the maximum optimal usage of a property. However, it may require us to have a contingency plan so that we can move on to the contingency plan in case our efforts are not paying fruits. So